Boom.
You ordered what?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dean Callan Show. It is Friday. For those of you who don't know what day it is, I struggled today with what day it was. And you know, that's Fun Day Friday. We've got some funkin' Fun Day Friday stuff coming up. In reality, I'm not making any funkin' stuff, right? Like I said to you a few, weeks back and days back and months back, it feels like forever. I was gonna try a little harder to, I don't know, chat to people I know, people with wealth of knowledge, people with interesting personalities, and bring you some real content. I know a lot of people all around the world, so it's kind of cool to be able to kind of go back to some of the people I've known for a long time, have a chat to them. Problem is, as we discussed in previous episodes, there's a story arc here. They live in different time zones. So this morning at 8 a.m., right? And you'd think I shot the bulk of the footage I needed at 8 a.m. this morning. You'd think I would have been totally ready for the show. You know, I got so distracted. I had a lovely barbecue over lunch. I had loads of work to do. I still have loads of work to do. I'm going to start work straight after I leave here. It's crazy. But you know what? At least I'm working. And I'm really happy to be working. I feel a little bit more secure now that I'm working. And yeah, I'm going to celebrate, right? I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to have a martini. You know what? I love it. We could all have a martini together. You guys could come here. But it's just a few more weeks. It's episode 99. And that means it's been 99 days. Not since I went into lockdown, but since pubs were shut. That's a long time, right? We've got like a week and a half until they open pubs again. Let's see how that works, right? By the way, this beer, it's super tasty. It's 2.1% alcohol, so it's baby beer, it's light, 350 mils, gluten-free, vegan, malted barley, oats, hops, stuff. It's called a Small Beer Company. Worth having a look at. I was introduced to it by Declan McGurk, and Declan McGurk is like a hero of mine, so it has to be good, right? Well, at least I thought that before I tasted it. It tastes great. Love it. So today, what are we talking about? The Pastiche Martini. I don't know how to pronounce what he said. I really don't know how to spell it either. So I spent a good 20 minutes. I probably should have called Jason back and seen if I could get him up. It's like 3 in the morning in Singapore now. Trying to find, I Googled a copy, a twist of a twist, or a copy of a copy in the artwork, right? So the beer is a small beer company. Yeah, I think I explained it. But yeah, hey Blaine, hey Diogo, what's happening, guys? So I got onto WIDGE. I talked to him at 8 o'clock this morning. We had a martini. It was amazing. It was delicious. In fact, I think it started my day really nicely. A martini. It might sound counterintuitive, but I almost think if I was going to have one drink in the day, or let's say 2 drinks, that if it was purely about flavor, that pre-breakfast martini, or breakfast, I guess. I had a bagel. That breakfast martini just it hit the spot. You could really taste it. It was delicious. I'm gonna make another one. Anyway, for those that don't know WIDGE, this is Widges. It's a gin at 41.5%. It's made at Langley's copper pot distilled gin. It says stilled, not distilled. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? 8 botanicals. I'm going to let WIDGE tell you, because that was the whole point of calling the guy, so that he could tell you. And fortunately for me, due to all this technology I have in the cabin, I'm able to push a button and we're able to see how he's getting on. In the meantime, I'll get myself some ice, finish my beer, and I'll make that martini that he talks about in the video at the end. It's delicious. It's definitely worth checking out. Right, so, WIDGE. It was intense. So, Are we ready to taste it? Can you talk me through it?
Yeah, sure. So,
All
it's
right.
a London dry gin.
It's 8:30 in the morning.
Absolutely,
All right. No one knows what time it is here.
it's a perfect breakfast gin, actually.
So it's. Did you say it's a two-shot gin or?
No, I'll take you through it. It's a London dry gin. It's a multi-shot gin. Um, it's made at Langley, just outside of Birmingham. We've got 8 botanicals. Um,
The
yeah,
clear
we've got a
cork is
fancy glass closure.
sexy, dude.
Mm.
Cool. So it's got Langley 8 botanicals.
Yep. We It's important to note, I guess, like as a company, we come from a bartending background. We're really focused on, the on-trade, the on-premise. So when we wanted to create a line of spirits, and particularly a line of gins, we had to really ask ourselves, like, why do we have to create these spirits? What is their purpose and place in the world? Because as you know, there's 10,000 different gins out there. So why do we need another one? So we were always going to create a gin that was for the bartender and to really elevate the world's great gin cocktails. That's its purpose in life. It's not to be an exotic Southeast Asian gin or a forage gin, or doesn't have any rich family history. It's a London dry gin created for the world's best gin cocktails. And when I looked at the canon of gin cocktails, I thought orange was going to be really helpful in a London
Yep.
dry gin. So heaps of orange, heaps of lemon, and balancing that out with some coriander seed and cardamom. And I think it really works. It goes well with all those orange liqueurs and herbal liqueurs that you get in gin sours, like a White Lady or a Corpse
I
Survivor, and
literally
things
was
like
just
that.
getting a lemon in case we were making a white lady. After you said that,
Yeah.
I might do that later. Actually, I'll do that tonight.
Cool.
So heavy citrus and orange. You see it working well. Obviously, a lot of the key classic cocktails have a combination of gin and lemon, and
Yeah.
then when you extend out, you've got a lot of orange, like everything from the Ramos Gin Fizz to the White Lady to the Corpse Survivor #2. It works really well with the orange. Um,
Hmm.
what what would you say is the hero drink? Because I know you drink martinis. You're drinking one right now. That's why I assumed you were drinking a martini this morning.
Yeah. A martini that I came up with, it might already exist out there in a classic cocktail book. I don't know, but the recipe that I came up with, which is a 3-to-1 martini,
Yeah.
with a heavy bar spoon of chartreuse and a heavy bar spoon of dry curacao. It's the orange and the herbal notes of the gin are just really brought to life through the chartreuse and the orange liqueur. So that's a little martini twist. I call it a pastiche martini, as in a copy of a twist. Other than that, man, Corpse Survivor is my jam. I really love shaken gin sour. So you whack it in a Last Word, Aviation, 20th Century, Corpse Survivor, Corpse Survivor Blue. Shout out to Jake Fries.
Yeah.
Works really well in all those. Then if you think of stirred drinks, you think of a Negroni, Hanky Panky, Martinez, all have an orange
Yeah.
character to it. So
Well,
it was really created with
it smells like
those
classic gin. So I want to
Right.
I want to try your martini. What did you call it again?
Pastiche martini.
Martini. Okay, so 57. All right. And I literally just had a phone call as that was ending. So I've made a big long video with the idea that I would take snapshots out. I'd take just his explanation of what Widges is out. And then I've decided instead of not showing you the whole video, I'm going to make it a small part of the show. I'm going to show you how to make his martini here. So I get to have one live, answer any questions. And then if you want to check out the whole interview, I'll just upload it onto my YouTube, right? So it'll come up just after this episode comes up on YouTube. Right, so his martini, I thought it was amazing. So I had one of them this morning. It was absolutely delicious. I'm going to build it up for you now. So it's pretty simple. It's basically a wet martini with a bar spoon of dry orange curacao and a bar spoon of green chartreuse. But honestly, as he talks about the orange notes in this gin, the orange notes are elevated in the gin, and orange works with so many different cocktails, especially cocktails that have citrus in it. He's absolutely right. It works really, really well. I'm building it directly over this ice because ultimately I haven't tempered the ice, so I want to give it a little chance to warm up. And you can't see it now, but green chartreuse. You can't see it now, but I'm using a Cocky de Torino Dry. This is a special collaboration they did. It's delicious. So we've got 1 part of the dry vermouth straight onto the ice. 3 of Widges. I wish someone had invented already like a neural lace, so you guys could plug in to the show and taste everything I'm tasting. It would be super cool, like Matrix style. Unfortunately, we're just not there yet. I hope in like 20 years that can happen, because then this job would be super cool. Oh, I just put absinthe. Damn. That was a big mistake. Right, let's see what happens now. We've got dry vermouth, absinthe. I'm going to do a riff on it because I don't want to waste my Widges. What would go with absinthe? I might put a bit of lemon juice and actually stir it. What happens when you stir down lemon juice? No one does it. People say you don't do it because you need to shake citrus. Yes, I agree. You do need to shake citrus. But what happens if you don't? Let's find out. So we're doing like the Corpse Survivor #2 martini. And then I'll do the real martini, the one that he talks about this pastis martini. I don't get it. I don't know what he's actually saying. I Googled it. I mentioned that on the cover for this episode because ultimately I couldn't find the spelling for how he was saying pestis, and I kept either going to like pastis or pestis, and like I got results back when I googled the spelling I was using of pastis, obviously, but then like a plague bacteria that was carried on rats, and I just thought, you know what? I'd rather not be the guy that misspelled the cocktail name, so just put it the Widges Martini. What can you do? Like, what can you do? Let's be safe. Hey, Steve! What's happening? I love this shirt too. Look at this. For people that don't, but like, this is hard to believe. But look at that. The living legend that is Steve Schneider watching this show. Oh. The first time I talked about doing this show was on your show. How cool is that? Right, so orange twist. And I'm going to strain this puppy out. Now, obviously, if I was working in an actual bar and I made a mistake like that, I would just immediately ditch the stuff and make another drink, right? But this is my home bar. It's a home bar. Like, it's Friday. I do have shit to do, but I mean, that can wait. Let's see what happens. Is it a happy accident or is it just a horrible mistake? Let's have a look. Orange twist, right? And one of the good things about when you've got the time and you make a mistake like that, in fairness, I already know that gin, lemon juice, vermouth, and absinthe are going to work, especially with the orange curacao added. It's basically a Corpse Survivor #2, but it's a martini first with some of the like hints of a Corpse Survivor #2. It's weird, right? It feels like without the aeration, the absinthe has made it like pastisy, right? It's not as nice as the Court Sovereign number 2. In fact, I might baby shake it and see whether it improves. I'm just like getting loose in the cabin, enjoying myself. It's been a good day. It's been a good week, actually. I've gotten a lot done. I'm having quite the productive week. Got a lot of work done. And little man has been super cool. All I'm looking for is aeration there because I already diluted it. Right. Oh no. So, I got invited right before I started this show to be on like PJ and Barry's show with Alvin the Legend Ramchurn from Toronto. It was hard not to be like, yes, and then just set my phone up here and be on their show whilst doing my show, right? Which I thought, it could have been cool, but I thought it's unfair to them to just like take the piss like that. Way better shaken. Don't know whether it's just like the air lifts citrus. I should check that out one day. Should try to figure out what it is that aerating the citrus does exactly. Getting better at those tasting notes. Yeah, getting better. Wow. Tasting notes, right? I'm getting hints of loads of pastis. Could be that the wormwood in the vermouth, that's where vermouth gets its name from, the German for wormwood, is just it's just connecting with the absinthe and causing for too much of that particular flavor. So it's just wormwoody, absinthe, like licorice with a backdrop of almost like fatty lemon. The lemon wasn't light and sharp. It was thick and fatty. Then again, there's no real sugar in that. Like there was that dry orange curacao is one of the drier side. So maybe it needed more sugar to lift the citrus. Right. So 3-1. Now, this is how it was meant to be made. You don't make the mistake of putting the largest ingredient in first. Kids, the bartending 101, you start with the like cheapest, smallest ingredient so you can't mess up the whole drink, right? Everyone knows that. That's what you start with. Orange curacao, 1 bar spoon. There we go. And it's stirred. All right. Honestly, I can't thank the guys from Ice Studio London enough for getting in touch with me and telling me that they can stock ice cubes for cheap. Like, I got clear ice in the cabin all the time. And it's just a case of ordering it, and it comes in big bags, and it goes in the freezer. I do need to do my drinks matrix work, though. Right. It looks like I'm stirring this for a really long time, but it's because I want to get dilution out of it. I think it's going to taste much better if it's nicely diluted. Oh, it's ready. Let's see. Now, he puts an orange twist on this. Julep strainer. Ooh. And this morning I was using my light. This guy. I love my light. You do these ones? Boom. Right. Turn that one off. If it turns off, boom. Orange, how are we doing? Look at that. Friday afternoon. Now, WIDGE, for those of you that don't know WIDGE, is an old school Australian bartending legend. And when I say Australian bartending legend, the guy, like, he won Bartender of the Year twice, right? You don't see people win Bartender of the Year twice. That's not a thing, right? That's how legendary he is. If you watch the full interview, you'll see that. Now, obviously, I'm going to taste this first, but I asked Mitch what he thought his favorite gin cocktail was, and I asked him if he had any stories about WIDGE, right? He didn't disappoint. It's so good. I wonder if it's already an existing drink. I'll have to look it up. WIDGE says it could already be an existing drink, but like in fairness, the green chartreuse and orange, it's an obvious thing, but like, I don't think it's been done. Not that I know of. And here comes Mitch.
Yo, hodly hodly motherfuckers. Jason Williams, the WIDGE. What's good, boys? This Jason Williams story. Back when Jason and I used to live together, and Frankie's had just opened in Sydney. Jace comes back. I think he must have still been working for Keystone then. And he comes home and he's mad sheepish. And he's like, hey, do you know what my phone is? And I'm like, yeah, you threw it at me in Frankie's last night. And he's like, I'm sorry. Because you think somebody has it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And his face sort of relaxes. And I was like, I don't know who though. Anyway, best ever gin contact, London calling all day. Cocktail fucking changed my life. Love that drink. Jason, love you. DC, love you. Later, boys. I'm gonna go open a bar in a pandemic.
Right. So my favorite thing about getting Mitch's minute is just the fact that Mitch, like knowing him well, he wears his entire, it's like his entire being, everything that was the day before, everything that's happening at the moment is on his face. So when he seen that question and he was like, "Hardly ho, motherfuckers," like you've seen him just think about WIDGE and brighten up. And you got to remember, Mitch is in LA, right? And a lot of his friends are in Melbourne and Sydney. So when he thinks back to like living with WIDGE and he thinks back to those times, he thinks back to being surrounded by his friends, and it lit him up straight away. And it made me think, right? I've known Mitch for more than 10 years. I've known WIDGE for like 15, 16 years. It's gonna be what, 10 more years before we're kind of old guard people. And it occurred to me that, you know, for years you look at the old guard of the cocktails. Like for me, I've already done an episode where I talked about how important having people that I look up to, heroes of like Dale DeGroff and Dick Bradshaw and Gaz Regan, like, you know, by today's, they're older now, right? Like, whoa, you know, Dale's still around, but like they're a fair few generations along. And you got to think to yourself, how long is a generation? And in bartending, you can go from not knowing anything to really consuming as much as you need to be a talented, good bartender within a couple of years with this bit, the practicality bit. But then there's also the element of like how the industry changes over time, and how demographics change, and how you interact with people as you get older and the more you understand about human interaction, right? And that you can't download that. and you might forge really strong bonds with people that you work with early in your career and not see them for years. For example, Widge, right? Even Mitch and I don't get to see each other as much as we'd like. But as you go into to different fields, different areas, different parts of the world, you grow and you adjust and you learn new things. But when you get back with those people and you hang out, whether it be at Tales of the Cocktail for just a week, whether it be at like some big bar summit, or you go back to the country that you started out in, or that you worked for a short time before you left and come home, and you hang out with the people that you worked with, because it's human nature. You hang out with the people that you know, and you start exchanging stories, and you start seeing how they have aged. And it's like a whiskey. You have a new make, you put the new make in different casks, and some casks will age, and like this first fill bourbon will go great, this port pipe will go great, this sherry will go great, this other refill bourbon will go great, the second fill will go great. They will do their own thing. Some of them will blend okay later on. You can't just mess them into a pot. You can't assume after 10 years they're all going to work. But sometimes, because they've gone off in their own directions, you bring them back together and they make something better. And I think looking at the old guard, especially I was talking today and yesterday about a particular person who has been an icon of the industry for a long time and has kind of come into trouble on social media of late. I'm not going to name any names, but it showed the old school mentality, that old school mindset. It just wasn't ready for the pace of change of the last couple of years. And looking at it, I kind of think to myself, am I going to be like that at some point? Am I just going to be impossible to deal with? And I hope not. But catching up with Widge this morning, catching up with Mitch all the time, and catching up with, the key people that have had a positive impact on my life and career throughout my career, reminds me that if that's my guard, if that's my generation of bartenders, and certainly I've made friends with a lot of people from much younger generations and a lot of people from older generations. If that's who I'm going to grow old with in the bar industry, and they're the people that I'm going to maintain relationships with, then I'm proud to be part of that guard, because I think that the bartending generation that come through at this time, I'm nearly 40, turn 40 next year, at our time was hit just as technology started speeding up, just as consumers started to realize that fresh ingredients were good. The classic cocktails, milk and honey, 2000, 2001? It really wasn't until 2006, 2008 that the everyday person that goes and drinks cocktails realized that this classic speakeasy style bar is great, and they're still around today, and they're still hip in some places. So for me, it was like a really nice time to be, and watching this and talking to these guys has made me really proud to be part of that generation. So, all right, the mustache gin. So Zdenek Kastanek just commented, right, before I sign off. So Zdenek he works with Widges. He's the one that got the bottle sent to me because it's not available in the UK. If you watch the YouTube channel, you will see that actually this stuff is not available in the UK just yet. It's in 7 or 8 countries. The bigger video I can't put on the live feed because it will just kill the live feed. And what am I going to do for that whole time? But yeah, Zdenek works with it. And basically, one of the conversations that we had is, if you see Widge, like, I'll play it just really quickly for a second so you can see his face again and remind yourself.
It was intense. So, are we ready to taste it? Can you talk me through it?
You see that mustache? When you first get one of these bottles, right, it comes with like a not really nice cover over the cap, and it's got his face on the top with the mustache. And in the video we discussed it, and he can't shave the mustache now. I didn't know him with a mustache before, but before, look at his face again, right?
It was intense. So, are we ready to taste it? Can you talk me through it?
Before that mustache, he looked like he was 12 years old. Like, you would ask him for ID at every bar he went to. He's got such a youthful face. So the mustache kind of helps. But now it's part of the branding. Can't shave it off. Right. Happy days. So, Gabby, welcome to the show again. I'm going to finish up. But before I do, ooh, wait. I was going to taste something and just like try to tell you how much I liked it. But I also want to do the not having open stuff. So unfortunately, I'm trying to book ahead so that you guys have some idea what's coming. And next week, if I can get this right, Monday, I'm going to be tasting these ones, right? So I've got 3 Scottish Italian inspired liqueurs, right? Or Amaros, or I don't know. I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out more about them. And we're going to be talking to Adam Elmijirab, the guy that created them. And then next week, later in the week, possibly the Friday, I don't know when, I'm going to be tasting this, which is Ron Cologne. And I've got the Overproof and I've got the coffee one, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. And on Wednesday, hopefully, right? Now, if you see me come on Wednesday and we don't talk about sherry, right? It's because something fell through. And that has happened multiple times on this show because I'm not paying people and people aren't paying me. There's no exchange of money. It's a passion project, right? And in fairness, like, it's lovely that people come on and speak on the show and add some content to the show for free. Like, I'm not going to get upset if suddenly things change and they have to move on. They can't do the show. So if everything goes to plan, we're going to be talking about sherry. I'm not gonna announce it right now, but a total legend, right? So, well, I'm gonna announce it. It's Boris. Boris is gonna come on and he's gonna talk about sherry, and hopefully we're gonna. But this is for you, Diogo, right? We're gonna talk sherry the whole episode, right? And drink sherry the whole episode, and if you're lucky. And I'm able to find I have a lot of hard drives, like about 20 terabytes of hard drives of video footage that I took because I like cameras. I don't like editing video. I don't like sharing video, but I like cameras. So I buy cameras, and then to justify my expense of buying fancy cameras, I record stuff and then I hide it on a hard drive. And I have hidden on a hard drive somewhere, I think it's like a 3-minute video of me teaching you how to drink sherry. And I could never release it on social media because it was deemed too irresponsible. But if Boris signs on Wednesday and I can find the footage, I will share it, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, right. So it's been almost an hour. I'm gonna very quickly finish off with one thing. I might have told you the story of me once winning a competition. Like, I'm super proud of it. I won a competition. I got a prize. This is my prize. This was my prize. Look, wait, let me get some bespoke lighting on this. Like, is that gonna work? No. Let me see. This guy maybe. Oh, look at this. Look. Oh, look. Oh yeah. Look at the gold trophy. Yeah, you can't really see that. It's crazy that you can't see that. Does it have to be back here? No, it's so dark. In real life, this is super shiny. Why is it dark? Doesn't matter. This is my trophy. Now, when I won this trophy in 2007, I created a drink which was a vanilla mojito. Right? Still won. Got $2,000 cash. Now, the key to this vanilla mojito was the straw. Right? Now, as you can see in the bar, I have these metal straws because I'm so old school that I couldn't stop doing this. I'm using bar spoons to not use the straw to try to stop myself using the straw, but now I'm eating from the bar spoon and it's really unhygienic. Anyway, I created, well, did I create it? I don't think I'd seen it before. I thought it was a cool idea. I was infusing vanilla in everything. So this is cask strength. Let me see what level it's at. This is 8-year-old Balvenie at 61.6% ABV. It's a bespoke sample that was taken for a long time ago for something that was happening. So you can see there's if you look closely, you can see a lot of evaporation. Where are we? Can you see that's been in there a day? Where are we? That's been in there a day, and that's how much it's evaporated. Ah, that's a terrible view. Anyway, it was up to there, right? It was all the way up to there, and it's evaporated down. And you can actually just see the oils of vanilla on the side of the glass, which is pretty epic, I think. Now, what I've done with this is I've taken some crusty vanilla beans that I'm able to get here. I'm going to do this again with real bourbon vanilla beans, like big fuck-off vanilla beans. And then I've put them in cask strength whiskey. They've softened, they've stretched, and now you have this, right? And I've put the steel straw through the inside. You can take that out, and you've got a vanilla bean straw, right? So it's 100% natural. You know, it uses no plastics. It's biodegradable, safe for the environment, and you're upcycling. You're actually recycling. You're recycling because you're infusing your spirit with vanilla, and then you're taking the vanilla beans and making straws out of them, right? So this is a great, great way to be sustainable in your bar and have cool straws, right? Look, here's one I prepared earlier. Oh, I get vanilla flavor from it and everything. So I don't know. In reality, I have no idea how much you would have to charge for that vanilla bean straw. Like how much the cost of goods, the GP goes up on your cocktail. But I effectively solved the straw problem, like before it was even a problem, before we knew about it. You know, 2007, that's ages ago. That's before Attenborough said that straws are killing turtles. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Oh, wait. You saw Mal Spence do it for Bacardi. Did you see that? When did Mal Spence do it? Was it before 2007? Am I a hack? Damn it. Everything's been done. Right, so I have one more video for you guys. The last thing on Monday we were doing, was it Friday last week? Yeah, we got one more week before the next one, but on Friday, Danny Dyer did his blue cocktail, right? Which was effectively riot juice. And I thought next time I see a blue cocktail come up, I'm going to share it. And I was on LinkedIn, and there was a company on LinkedIn, and you know they seemed like lovely people, and they got loads of likes and stuff like that. And they were using a blue cocktail that they had designed to demonstrate how good their mixology skills are to try to get more business. And this is the cocktail. Right. I would like to say right now, don't say anything negative about this. But I was like, okay. And there was no context. Right. So to me, I don't know whether that was they were trying to design a cocktail that tasted, because I can't taste it, tasted like a modern cocktail, but looked like an early 2000s, late 90s cocktail, because like the iridescent kind of shine, which is, you know, honestly, see this whole thing, right? Part of that is creating a stream of light so that I can do shit like that with pearl dust. It's done with pearl dust. I might have done it on the show before, but ultimately, I haven't seen that since the Paris Hilton Martini. And I kind of thought, if you're going to sell yourself on that drink, put some more context on it. What are the little knobbly bits on the outside? Anyway, thought I'd share that. It's been a lovely week. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for texting. Thank you for being part of it. And yeah, I'll see you Monday. We'll talk Scottish, Italian, Amaro thingies. I still don't know if they're Amaras, liqueurs. Not sure.
You ordered what?